Today's affirmation is on devotion. No good end is ever reached without devotion. No true success is achieved unless the heart's feelings are involved. Willpower itself is a combination of energy and feeling directed toward fulfillment. In the quest for God, the unfolding of the heart's natural love, in the form of deep devotion, is the prime requisite for success. Without devotion, not a single step can be taken towards Him. Devotion is no sentiment, it is the deep longing to commune with and know the only reality there is. Now I will read the affirmation. You can repeat after me, first loudly, then little louder, then whisper, and then in the mind. With the sword of devotion, I sever the heart strings that tie me to delusion. With the deepest love, I lay my heart at the feet of omnipresence. With the sword of devotion, I sever the heart strings that tie me to delusion. With the deepest love, I lay my heart at the feet of omnipresence. With the sword of devotion, I sever the heart strings that tie me to delusion. With the deepest love, I lay my heart at the feet of omnipresence. Now, in the mind, we will say, with the sword of devotion, I sever the heart strings that tie me to delusion. With the deepest love, I lay my heart at the feet of omnipresence. Now I will say the prayer. Beloved Father, Mother, God, I am thine alone. Let others seek thee or seek thee not. It matters not to my love for thee. Through all life's trials, my prayer is this alone. Reveal thyself.
I bring to thee the myrrh of devotion. With folded hands, bowed head, and heart laden with the myrrh of reverence, I come to thee. Thou art my parents, I am thy child. Thou art the master, I am ready to obey the silent command of thy voice. I conjured the fragrant devotion of all hearts and mixed it with my tears. Now I am eager to wash thy feet in silence. A river of my ardent crystal tears of craving rushes forth to meet thee. Wilt thou see that my boisterous flood of devotion be not lost in the desert of disappointment? Wilt thou see that my mad flood of devotion follow always the right course which leads to thee?
Okay, good morning and welcome again to the Sunday Satsang today. And we are so happy that you all are joining us. Like it says in the when two or more are gathered in His name, He'll be present. So I think we all come here every Sunday, even online here, and we just try to tune in to that divine vibration so that we can offer ourselves more completely during the week. I think we all draw so much energy. I also remember my days back in 2014-15 when I used to go every Sunday. I used to have a 5-6 day working day with a corporate company also in 16, but I used to go back every Sunday looking forward to the satsang and stay back from morning to evening and then go back home, and somehow it used to give me the strength to pass me through one more week's time. I think this is true for many of us, for all of us in a way then. So we can just somehow try to dive deeper, and each time when you come, please don't think that somebody is speaking here, I'm here receiving. Also, you are adding your blessings. channel is blessed. It's more blessed to give than to receive. So each time when you all are coming, you are adding your blessings. You are giving so much energy to this place. I think that's what makes this satsang also more beautiful. I think you also might have heard this also with many performers, or even with many kirtans. I've seen it. Whenever we sing chants for a group, and sometimes it's so much better, and you know the many reasons. It's not because of the person performing or person chanting. It's more from the audience, what they draw out from you. So in the same way, I think we give energy. I think we are giving energy to each other, and we are walking each other home to God. I think this is such a sweet relationship. I think God has created this existence in such a way that also you all might have heard this incident. Yogananda ji shared that to become free, you also have to free 6 other people. That was interesting when I heard that. So what does that mean? Then in a way we are all so the joke is we are 6 of us here in the hall today. But also more importantly, I think it's also like Master is telling, I'll give you my blessings. You also have to share your blessings. There's also this story of this 3 yogis who were meditating, and they were under the earth. And somehow when somebody was trying to dig the earth, they found out these yogis, so they brought them out. They started poking to wake them up. And these yogis really got angry when they woke them up. They asked what age we are in. Why did you wake us up? We're so close to God. And they happened to also curse that people who woke them up. But more importantly, I think Yogananda ji pointed out, why were those 3 people brought out by Divine Mother? Why did not Divine Mother allow them to become free? Because in a way they were becoming a little selfish. They're not thinking of all others, and they're just thinking of their own spiritual growth. That doesn't work in this creation. And we also see, also in the beginning, we all want to take Kriya initiation, and then there's always this honeymoon period when all the Kriya start going well, meditation starts going well. Then suddenly, this was even back in 2017, 2018, then I asked Devarshiji, what happened? Suddenly I'm going through this dry spell. I'm not able to do my Kriyas well. I'm not able to feel anything. And he said, it can go for a long time. But then I discovered when I started serving wholeheartedly, somehow that service brought that energy back. I think Master was like again taking back a little bit of grace so that we also put out our efforts, put out our energy. When I started serving, I started to see that joy again rise up in my spine. I started to see it. I think I would really highly recommend, if you're not already serving, to really take out some time, serve at the center, do some online seva, anything, whatever you can do. And today's topic is Reveal Thyself. And to also, one of the thoughts is also to asking God to reveal herself and Divine Mother, because it said Divine Mother is closer than Heavenly Father, is how Yogananda ji put it. And he used to also have this statue of Kali Ma where he used to worship every day, and it was always this devotion, offering ourselves completely. And also, while thinking of Reveal Thyself, we are also like wanting to also first have all our energies within ourselves. First we need to know ourselves. First we have to become aware of the energies that we all are putting out. Only when we become aware of energies, because even in the starting class series, when a person comes first to the center, what do they learn? They usually learn the energization exercises. Why? They have to become aware of the energy. Because Yogananda ji said, if you're stranded on an island and you can only take one technique, he said, take energization exercises. Because with that technique, you can unravel the entire science of Kriya Yoga. Because then we start becoming aware of energy, then we start becoming of our heart's energies, then we can offer it up to God. We know where to offer it. Because even if it's only devotion, without knowing where to offer it, also it would not be so helpful. Like once there was this Bhakti Yogi who was really diving so deep, but somehow he was not able to make that final contact with God. And Yogananda ji suggested, why don't you do this? He gave him a technique to also do, in which you can offer your energies, Kriya technique. And this person was little hesitant. No, I am a Bhakti Yogi, I don't want. But Yogananda ji, then after some time, he started to realize, and he said, okay, let me try. Then once he started doing it, Yogananda ji pointed out, you're like in a dark room and you don't know where the door is. Now I'm finally showing where the doorknob is, so you can also offer this devotion at the right point. And then he had a God contact. How beautiful it is that we are all on this spiritual path. We have been given the Raja Yoga, the Royal Yoga, where all these 3 Bhakti, Jnana, Karma Yoga, all are guided by the supreme virtue of also meditation, which guides all of these things and holds together, and we can offer ourselves completely to God. with Reveal Thyself, also this practice which we did in the beginning, you all can do many other times also during the day. Just trying to bring your attention, because the spiritual eye is like the antenna or the broadcasting station, and heart is our receiving station. That's what Yogananda ji said. So each time, whenever you want to put out a call, you can call out from here. Reveal Thyself is one thing, and then you can start receiving the response. And also there are many saints also who have really shown the way how to offer our heart's devotion completely to God. I think Ram Prasad ji is one more such saint, who is from Bengal. So Ram Prasad ji, he was an accountant, but also during his accounting times, he was so much in love with Divine Mother that during wherever he sees some empty pages, he used to write some poems to Divine Mother. And one day all of his colleagues started complaining, and they complained to the manager. And manager was also a little angry. But then he started reading these songs of Ram Prasad, and he said, "Oh God, these are so beautiful. If you want, you stay back at home and keep doing this. I'll pay you anyway, the monthly stipend, whatever I'm paying you. Don't worry, go back home." So he got much more time for Divine Mother, God. Then also he kept singing, and one day a king was passing by, and he also saw this. And again he said, "Okay, I'm going to also give you some land where your family can take care, so that you can offer yourself more completely to God." He had all his practices also, standing in the water, thinking of God, and all other practice. But more than anything, I think like Yogananda ji said, there's all these times when we even think of sometimes saints or a Divine Mother, and the tears will start flowing out from our eyes. That's like a space where we all want to be in, that we can offer ourselves completely to God. But also we also have to remember, even when Swamiji was feeling a lot of devotion once, and he was visiting Anandmayi Ma. So he said to Anandmayi Ma, "I'm feeling this devotion." Anandmayi Ma could see it. But Anandmayi Ma cautioned him, when you are having so much devotion, the energy can go upwards or downwards or outwards. So it's better you redirect it to the spiritual eye. Because we all are balanced yogis, and we all to realize that without heart opening, we can't really do anything. Even a kriya, whatever, many people are kriya bans here, and you all know a kriya is an act of devotional self-offering, is what it said. And kriya plus devotion acts like spiritual mathematics, is what they said. And it's true for any other technique of meditation, when we are able to somehow blend in that devotion, heart's energy, and offer it up. Because also, I have been noticing also in my own life, and it said, when we only focus on the spiritual eye and somehow don't think about heart, we can become a little arrogant, or we can become insensitive to others' needs, which is also not correct on a spiritual path. But when we have our heart open, we also keep our focus here, because this is said that when we can keep our focus here, this is the quickest way to self-realization. So Yogananda ji at Yukteswar ji's ashram, he said that he used to keep his focus here almost all the daytime, or whenever he could remember, he used to always keep his focus here. And he was an avatar, and he was setting an example for all of us to also do that. So this is good lessons for all of us to somehow keep our heart open, then raise that energy. Because Swami Kriyananda ji pointed out, Yogananda ji in some point also wrote that it's austerely, if you feel your heart's energies or desire, just offer it austerely at the spiritual eye. That's a very interesting note. So we can all take this to our hearts, and anytime you feel any desires, you feel anything, you feel devotion to God, again offer this up at the spiritual life. That goes a long way. So how do we do this practice? So we all in our meditation, we try to bring our energies here, like Reveal Thyself, what we are doing. In the same way, whenever you feel any heart's energies, just try to center yourself and just try to think of this forehead and try to bring the energy here. And again here, you can just again repeat, Reveal Thyself, and that brings the energy up to the spiritual eye. So you can try and experiment yourself, and you will see that this works. It might take a little bit of practice in the beginning, but it surely works. So now Ram Prasad. So he was going well. One day what happens, he also writes these beautiful songs. And once what happened, he had to do some work at the fence. So he also had called his youngest daughter, I think her name was Jagdishwari, and he called her to help him out with this fence. But she said, "Okay, I'll come in sometime. I'm going to be busy now." So he started working, and then suddenly she came. Then he started helping. He also started noticing she was very good at it. She was able to do everything so well, and it was quick, oh God. And at some point, she was also singing to Divine Mother out of devotion. And this little girl pointed out, she asked, "Father, what are you doing?" He said, I'm singing out to Divine Mother, so that she comes to me. Then she also asked, oh, does she come to you? Why are you singing? He said, Divine Mother, he also pointed out, Divine Mother, I sing, but she's very naughty. Though I sing, she doesn't come to me. Then the little girl pointed out, Father, if she doesn't come, why do you even care to sing? At this point, the conversation stopped. They just did the work and she went back. Then after doing the work, he went back to his home, and then he told his wife how this little daughter had helped him so well with the whole thing. But she was like, what? Our daughter is on the other side of the town. She was not even here. What are you saying? And then she came back and he checked with her, and she was like, yeah, I was not here. Then he realized, okay, who can that be who was teasing that? Why do you even sing if she's not coming? Then that's how Divine Mothers plays hide and seek with us. I think with that same note, I think we all can remember that whenever we sing, just know that I know we also have taken so much incarnations to even call out to her. How many incarnations they have been waiting for us to call out to them. And finally, we are one day showing up and we are saying, God, now please show up. They're like, okay, now I want to really test you. So they give you all sorts of things, name, fame, all sorts of things, all the toys. I think you all might have also heard of this analogy, where there's a person, like a woman, she has a small child, and she takes it to the work site. She puts the child in the work site place in a sort of jula, and she sees that he's happy there, and she starts to lift her bricks and keep putting up. At some point, the kid starts crying. She goes back, she does one or twice, goes back to her work. After some time, the kid starts crying more. So then she comes back, she puts him down, gives some toys to play. Then she goes back, she starts doing. After some time, kid gets bored with those toys. She asks for more, and she finds one more toy, one more toffee or something, and she gives it to the kid. And she goes back. After some time, this kid notices, okay, whatever I'm doing, these things are not giving me that happiness of a mother. And then he starts crying and crying till she comes. At that point, she comes, she picks up the child, and she goes around and gives him the time. So in the same way, this is an analogy where we also, in the beginning of the spiritual path, we call them, we are not able to even call them wholeheartedly, because our mind can get zoned out, our mind can go here, there, everywhere. But with all these teachings, we'll be given the energy, we'll be given the strength to offer ourselves completely to God. Then you'll start realizing every year after even I've come on spiritual path, every year I look back, I'm like, oh God, I never knew I could improve so much. Okay, there's so much improvement, because we can't see looking up. We can only connect the dots looking backward, is like one person said. In the same way, each year, when you look back at your own spiritual growth or the growth where you have come, you'll see, wow, astonished. Okay, who was that person 10 years ago? I can't even recognize him now. So in the same way, I think we should call out to Divine Mother in such a way that no more toys can take away our attention. It's better that she comes, she picks us up, and she takes us. Also, there is this analogy which Yogananda ji gave, that when you have a garden, when King's Garden is there, why instead of going to the watchman or someone else, why don't you directly knock on the king's door? In the same way, our whole creation, why don't we, instead of exploring this, that, why don't we directly call to Divine Mother, call to Heavenly Father? Once we have them, then they'll show us around. They'll show you all the joys, all the things, how the world works. They'll show us all around, and it'll be much more better way. When a king shows, because he has created this palace, he'll show the gardens, he'll show the right things at the right time, he'll bring out the best dishes. But if we, instead of going directly to him, if we try some other way, those people won't be able to help us same. In the same way, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything else shall be added on to you. So when we first somehow give God the highest priority in our life, all the small things will be working out. Even whatever circumstance you're going through, like going through finding a job or whatever it is, somehow tell to God, okay, God, what do you want me to do? And he'll give you the right job, and have that faith, and he will give you, and from there it'll be like all a miracle. And you'll realize, because many times what has happened, some people had gone to a to saints and they show up, okay, this particular job has come, and a saint particularly says, no, don't take that job, and they'll think this is a very highly paid job, why are you not asking me to take it? And then after some months they realize, okay, the bank, this whole company was doing some fraud, and the saint's words proved very worthy for not getting that particular job. In the beginning we can't see when it's all too close to us, but when we take a step back and say, okay, Divine Mother, I know in the meantime I'll keep doing my best, I'll keep putting my best efforts, but without your grace we can't do it. Together we can do it. So when you also put your best efforts, and even then God's blessings are there, because many times the karma in our lives can be so challenging. And somebody went to Master and said, you know, God, I need your blessings. And Master Yogananda ji, I think you all remember what he said. God's blessings are there, my blessings are there, but your blessings is what is needed now. So then in the same way, we all somehow have to put our 100%, because as you all know, on spiritual path, our effort is 25%, Guru's effort is 25%, God's blessings are 50%. So if for our 25%, we have to put all our 100% into it. And once we start putting ourselves completely, you will start seeing all the things start changing. You'll start seeing the right people come in, right opportunities come in, all the things, whatever God would want, when we give him the first place, all the things will get sorted out. Also, there is this song again in which the God is speaking to a devotee. Oh devotee, ask me for salvation, but not my love and devotion. Because when I give those away, I give myself away. I'll repeat it. Oh devotee, ask me for salvation, but not my love and devotion. Because when I give those away, I give myself away. Again, this is a little tricky. Why is Divine Mother saying, give me salvation, ask me for salvation, but don't ask for love and devotion? But Yogananda ji pointed out the main meaning, crux of it is, even though Divine Mother is teasingly telling, you should ask Divine Mother only for love and devotion. Because when you have her love and devotion, then all other things will come to you. Because even whatever small salvations you might get, if there's no Divine Mother's grace and blessings, you will again, even being in a heaven with 1,000 fools is worst. It's better to stay with one wise man in hell, or a saint with hell, compared to being with 1,000 fools in a heaven. So in the same way, I think we really need Divine Mother's blessings. I think there are so many such incidents. Also in our own life, we somehow have to increase the devotion. So what are the ways in which we can do it? So as you all have heard, chanting is half the battle. Yeah. That's an excellent for us axiom. Chanting is half the battle. So by chanting also, we can somehow open our heart's energies. We can then offer it upward. So each time chanting, if you all don't know harmonium, or you always have the notes, and you also have many people who can help you, just reach out to your mentors and they'll be able to share to you how to chant on harmonium. Even one chant, it somehow opened my heart so much. Even just one simple words. In Ananda, the chants are very simple. I want only thee, or listen, listen, listen. Or even like what we did, Om Namah Shivaya, or Om Namo Narayana, or reveal thyself, reveal thyself. It's very simple. So once we start doing it, somehow we are able to more offer ourselves completely to Divine. And also because many times we also think it can become a little emotional. In the beginning, it's very fine, because in the beginning, it's important for us to open our hearts. It can become looking like little emotional, like you might be someone showing an outburst of energy, but it's always better to also take it calmly inward, because even in Ananda chanting, first we sing loudly, then we sing more in a medium voice, then we start going it lower and lower, so that we can mentally keep repeating it. We keep taking it inward and inward, this energy, again to offer up to God. So it's always wonderful to somehow know all these teachings and how they all of them come together. So as we keep diving more and more into reveal thyself, so we can also keep wondering, even with Yogananda ji's own life. I think he had all such challenges he had to go through. I think even once he had just gone off to Mexico. He said, Divine Mother, I don't want to do any more organization work. You take care of this thing. I'll be in Mexico. I just want you now. I don't want anything. And Divine Mother came back to him and said, okay, it's more like, do you want to keep the... Also, this was Yukteswar ji pointed out, but also Divine Mother came back and says, I take care of this entire cosmos. Can't you take care of this little bit for me? And he said, okay, I'll do it, Divine Mother. She will come. Also, I think he pointed out to Yukteswarji, he had showed no interest in organization or anything. Then Yukteswarji pointed out, do you want to keep the entire honey to yourself? Why don't you create beehives of honey? So always Yoganandaji, even in a crowd of 5,000, when somebody said, Yoganandaji, wow, 5,000 people had come to your lecture, and he had pointed out, I doubt even if 5 people of them will come back to become that devotees. So in the same way, he was always, instead of large crowds of people, he always wanted even those few ones, but who will dive deep or who really want to take these teachings and make it a reality. So always Yoganandaji pointed out, create hives of honey, hives of this divine nectar everywhere. So anywhere, like meditation groups, centers, even if few people come, when we all can really feel their presence and take it back and share it with the world, there's nothing like it. Because even like in our own practice, we always do our meditation, but also at the end, we also do the healing prayers. Why do we do it? Again, channel is blessed by what flows through it. It's more blessed to give than to receive. So in the same way, as we keep giving, as we keep sharing, we'll start feeling more and more. Also this, I'll mostly end with this, Kriyanandaji was sharing on this. He said in the early days in ashram with Master also, he pointed out that there was once he started going through a dry spell. Oh, okay. No, this is mainly from the Devashiji's book, Kriya Yoga Spiritual Awakening for the New Age. This is Devashiji's experience. When he was more in the monastery early days, he was going through this dry spell again. It started longing, and he felt at some point it was better to even bring a newspaper to meditation than to even meditate, because his mind was all restless during that small phase of time. So then he was wondering what is happening, what can he do? Then he started just speaking to Divine Mother, what can I do? Then he started seeing there was some wrong attitude within himself, because each time he goes to meditation, okay, I'm going to enjoy this bliss. But he thought, this time when I go to meditation, whatever restlessness, whatever I feel, I'll give it to you, God. It's more blessed to give than to receive. So each time when we go to our own meditation, we can always think, okay, I want to give to you, I want to give to you. This is almost like Nishkam Karma then. When we start doing Nishkam Karma, the beauty is then we'll receive the blessings anyway. And the same with that change in attitude, Devashiji said his whole meditation started going in an upward way, and he was able to feel more joy and bliss. So in the same way, I would recommend you all friends, whatever you do this week, maybe there are many more ways to remember, like Om Guru, like each time you open the refrigerator, you can think of God. Each time you start the car, you can think of God, or you can do japa, you can do chant throughout the day, you can play to Radio Ananda, you can play some chants. All these things throughout the day, try to make your experience of God every day, every minute reality. Even if you're doing your work, even if you're feeding a child, what lunch to make, you can ask God. They'll give you more suggestions, more. Even if there is some hard time going, just say, God, even lovingly, God, why did you put me into this mess? And even they'll take care of it. Then they'll start showing you love, and the joy will come where you can solve that situation also. And then finally one day we'll keep singing like this person who had this illness, really terminal illness, and he could not even meditate for 5 minutes. Slowly he started increasing for hours together he could do. Then at one point he realized his illness had gone away. Then he asked God, what did you do? I did not ask for illness to go away. But God said, where there is my light, the darkness flees. So there will be no place for illness. So in the same way, when we keep offering ourselves completely to God, all these other things will anyway automatically leave. But anyway, it's more important to come to satsangs, because then we are all adding blessings, all coming together. And also this way we are inspiring each other. One day you might be feeling good, you can share the blessings. One day you might not be feeling so well, you'll be receiving the blessings. So all together, we are all here walking each other home to God. Saying this, I would like to conclude this. But again, yeah, highly recommend you all try to include this practice of reveal thyself. Start to pray for it.